Okay, so this is part 2 for the retro robot. So once you have cut out your objects, remember again, you're using any of these selection tools. Object selection, Photoshop does all the work for you. Quick selection, you do the work. Photoshop selects things based on the outlines, or Magic Wand, which selects things based on color. All that's covered in the last video. So if you need to, go back and watch that. But you have some objects cut out, and now you're ready to start creating your robot. So go ahead and, again, I would start getting some items first. So remember I said you have to have 25 layers for this project. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4 things cut out. That's probably all I need. I can probably add a few other things in, but you don't need to go crazy. That doesn't mean you need to cut out 25 objects. You can definitely duplicate these things. So I'm going to show you how to duplicate an object right now. So Control J on your keyboard. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Control J right here. Control J is going to allow you to duplicate a layer in Photoshop. So I'm going to hit Control J, and I'm actually going to turn off one of these, and then I'm going to hit Control T. Alright, so I'm going to shrink this down because I think maybe I'll use this, maybe I'll actually use this as the body of my robot. So I'm using Control T, and I'm going to align this here, and maybe this will become part of the body. Alright, and I'm going to Control J, Control T, and maybe I also want to use maybe part of this as one of the legs. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink that down. And let's see here. Maybe this will be kind of like the joint or something. So let's see. Here's my leg. Alright, so maybe this is going to be my leg. And then I'm going to duplicate this stuff over there. Alright, this one, maybe this will become part of my face of my robot, or maybe the body. Not sure, so I'm just hitting Control T. Yeah, I think that'll become the face or something. And maybe these right here, maybe I'll use this as a leg, but also as an eye. So I'm going to Control J to duplicate. I'm going to move that up so it's in front. I'm going to Control T to transform. And I'll put one here to become a little eye. Alright, so maybe I want another eye over here. Control J, Control T. I have a second one, but if I want them to be symmetrical, I can right click and say flip horizontal. Flip horizontal. Alright, so you can see right here I've got some little eyes. And you know what, I decided I don't really like this as the body, so that's okay. I can move this stuff around. Alright, so I'm going to start getting organized here. Alright, Control J, Control T. Maybe this will become, maybe I'll use part of this as the body. Oh, I like that. I think I like this as the body, but I don't like these pieces here. So we have a layer mask that's already been created when we cut out. So if you see over here, there's like on this side, this weird, like what's happening over here? So anything black is going to drop out of your image. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that and get rid of some parts of this image because I want this to be part of the body. So I'm going to go down here, I'm going to get my black paintbrush, and I'm going to just paint away. Oh no, it painted it black. Control Z. You need to be selected on the mask. So make sure you're selected on the mask. Okay, if you select on the mask, then you can paint with black, and it's actually going to delete those portions of the image. I'm going to change my brush to a hard brush. Alright, and there we go. I can delete these portions of the image that I don't want. Alright, and same thing, like I don't like the legs on the face. So let's see, which layer is that? It's this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and these little things right here, I'm going to get rid of those. So I'm going to select on the mask, and again, if you accidentally select on the layer, when you paint, you can see, oh no, I painted with black. So that's okay, just hit Control Z to undo. Make sure you're on the mask, and then you're going to take, again, your paintbrush, your black paintbrush, and to get back to your black paintbrush, the default colors, you can hit D on your keyboard, and you can hit the X key to switch between them, or you can just hit this little arrow right here. You want to use black, and again, you can erase by painting on this mask. So I'm going to paint that area away, and I don't want this here as well. And then I'll go back to this one, and if there's anything I want to get rid of here, I can do that as well. Alright, and I think I'm a little bit more happy with that. All right, let's see. I think I don't actually want that image there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start putting these images together. I think these are all my body pieces. So these are my eyes. This is like the body and this is the face. I'm just gonna rearrange this. And I'm gonna go ahead, now that I have a ton of layers, I'm gonna start grouping these. So I'm gonna put this all in one group. And there we go, there's my little body. And I'm gonna shrink that down, Control T. I'm holding the Alt key. And there we go. Here's the start of my robot. All right, I think I'm gonna use this as a leg right here. So I'm gonna zoom in. And I think I don't want that. I'll just use this as a leg. So I'm gonna hit Control T. And it's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna shrink that down. Okay, maybe this will be one of the legs, or part of the leg. Control J, Control T, right click, flip horizontal. And now I have another one. And I'm actually gonna put these, maybe I'll move this on top. I like that better. All right, I want these legs to be a little bit longer, so I'm actually gonna duplicate this again. Control J, Control T. All right, and then I have another portion of this leg. Now these legs are looking a little bit stiff. Control J, Control T, flip horizontal, put one over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the warp tool now. All right, so for the warp, I'm going to Control T, right click, and then I can get in here to warp. And when I'm in warp, I can now bend some stuff around. So I like that. I'm actually gonna just go back and get rid of this leg. I don't like it, it's a little bit too stiff. I'll delete that, and then I'll duplicate this other leg here. So again, duplicating, Control J, Control T, right click, flip horizontal. All right, and then maybe I wanna use these. What do I wanna use this little toggle bolt for? Let me find where that layer is. If you ever lose track of your layers, you can also go back to the Move tool here and hit Auto Select, and it can sometimes figure out which layer it is. Okay, so it looks like it's this one right here. I'll take Auto Select off now, and I can Control T, and maybe I'll put, I don't know, maybe this will be, I'll use a little bit of this as a foot, or maybe I'll use this as an arm. Or, I don't know, what else could I do with this? Maybe I don't want to use it at all, in which case I just throw it away. I think I'll use this as part of like a shoe or something. Okay, I'll do that, and I don't want the whole thing. I think I just want this bottom portion. So I'm going to go ahead and use my mask right here. Get my black paintbrush. B is the brush. Make sure it's a hard brush. So dial my hardness up, my opacity, and then I can just erase the portions I don't want. Okay, and I like that. All right, and you know what? I'm also gonna go ahead and delete this bottom portion. So I'm gonna click again on the mask with my black paintbrush, and I'm gonna get rid of that little bit there at the bottom. And I like that, so I'm gonna Control J, Control T, right click, flip horizontal. And there I have another one. All right, I can think about what I want to use for my arms for my robot. You know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and delete some of this area too for the legs. So let's see. I think that'll connect a little bit better. Oh, and I can already see there's part of in the body. Let me turn these legs off for a second. I'm going to get rid of this portion right here. So that's, I think, inside here in my group, right here. I have my black paintbrush. I'm just painting away. I didn't do a very good job. Let me zoom in. Okay, that's better. And then I'll turn my legs back on. Oops, I don't want that one. Where was that layer? Getting a lot of layers. All right, I think I'm gonna just kind of paint away this top portion. So let's see, right here. Undo if you mess up. There we go. And I think this is this layer here. Same thing. I'm just painting away the portions that I don't want. And there we go. I think that's a little bit better integrated. Ooh, I turned off my foot there somehow. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so you can see how you can, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 layers already. And I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 different objects. So let's see, what else can I do? Control J, Control T. Maybe I can take this, add this, some little shoulder things. If you want to warp something, again, remember right click, warp. So I can kind of warp this a little if I want to kind of match that curve a little bit better. Control J, Control T, right click, flip horizontal. Add another little detail here. Some kind of shoulder action going on. Let's see, I'm going to go back to this one that is unbent. There we go. Control J, Control T. Maybe I'll turn one of these into a hat. Zoom out. All right, and if you want to stretch something, so I like that, but I want it to be a little bit taller, I can hold the Shift key, and that will allow me to stretch something. So you can see I'm stretching this, and there we go. Now I have kind of like a little hat for my guy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Obviously, you're going to go back and add some arms and stuff. One other thing, don't worry about it too much. If you're getting these white lines, they're probably not going to show up in the print. It's just that there's probably like one single pixel. So don't worry about it. If it's bugging you a lot, and if you can see these white little lines, you can always go through and use your black paintbrush to clean these up on the layer mask. So let me find one of the images that's giving me a white line. You can see right here, I think this might be my clock image, which is in my, yes, it's right here. So one of these inside my group, I'm going to expand that. Aha, this one. It's giving me this little bit of a white line. So I'm going to click on the mask, and I can just go around the edge with the black paintbrush. So if it's really bothering you, you can get rid of them. If it's not bothering you, don't worry about it, because they're not going to show up when you print it. They're too small to print. But if it's bugging you, you can always paint over those areas with your mask. Okay? And if you are completely confused by what I was talking about, just ignore that. It's, again, not necessary. They're not going to show up when you print. But if it's really bugging you, click on the layer mask, take your black paintbrush, and you can paint away. All right.